Could you eat a meal this big every day for a year and lose weight? You already know the answer if you follow me. This is the Ridiculously Big Salad, a wild version. As always, we will talk about the parts of the salad, why they work, the wild aspect of this particular one, and what it can teach us about our struggles with our weight. Let's get started. First, the salad itself. This is the Ridiculously Big Salad. If you are new here, welcome. You might find my eating a little strange, outlandish, maybe garish, but it's actually very simple, and it's held for me and many members in the community the key to life-changing weight loss. So bear with me. Glean the little nuggets for your own situation. So I am a 1 meal a day eater. I get all of my nutrition, all of my calories in one giant bowl. Now, I'm going to admit, in maintenance, sometimes I eat a bit more. And so this morning, I actually ate a little bit before this, so I had a little more protein. But this is a really good example of a salad that I might have eaten in my weight loss phase. These days, we call this the Ridiculously Big Salad. Way back in 2017, it didn't have a name, but I made sure all of my bowls were full of one key layer, which is, in this case, a very filling and calorie strategic vegetable layer. This salad has cabbage. That is layer one. I mean, there's almost no calories in cabbage, and cabbage itself I find to be very filling. That is layer one of the Ridiculously Big Salad framework. Layer two is the dressing, and the dressing in this case is a vinaigrette, and it actually has our little wild ingredient in it. I'll talk more about that, but this is the vinegar. It has a very secret and special ingredient in it, but there's a vinaigrette. It provides some fat, which helps me feel like more satiated, more satisfied with this meal. It also has apple cider vinegar, which helps bring the meal to an end a little sooner, helps me feel a little more satisfied. Not all of my dressings have that, but I do lean into it when I need to. The third layer is the protein. In this case, you can sort of see in the sunshine. The boiled eggs here, again, I had a little bit more protein earlier, but boiled eggs for protein. And the fourth layer is kind of the other stuff, and that's the layer that can get you into trouble because, I guess you could put a Twinkie on there or whatever. So you're going to be mindful of the fourth layer, but this one has some tomato, it has some sunflower seeds, and some red onion. And that is the fourth layer of the Ridiculously Big Salad. Each strategic, crafted to fill me up in a calorie-mindful way, in a carb-minded way. And that is the simplicity of the Ridiculously Big Salad framework. In this case, a raw salad. We also have ridiculously big skillets. Okay, so that is a quick background on the salad itself, but let's talk about the dressing because that's our little wild part of it, and it has a little lesson for us. And so in this salad, I made a vinaigrette. It's very simple. It included this vinegar, olive oil, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Very, very simple. I added some sweetener as well, poured it on the cabbage, stirred it all up, added the red onion, the tomato, the sunflower seeds, and that egg. Super, super simple. But now this cloudy, muddy looking thing actually has a local sage in it. California has a lot of native sages that are edible, that have all kinds of different little flavors. They're very fun to collect. We have white sage, purple sage, black sage. There's a sage on the coast. There's sages all over, including a very unusual sage in Tulare County. It is this sage, and it's related to kind of the purple sages out there. It's really super prickly. My son and I picked some a few weeks ago, and we turned it into this vinegar. Here's the thing about it. I hunted for this sage, this Tulare County sage, for years. For absolute years. I knew California had native sages. I was kind of getting into it, and I knew we had a local one, but I had never seen it. And I wondered, I even asked friends, have you seen the sage? Where is it? How can I find it? And I had some basic descriptions of it, but I just hadn't seen it before. And it was one early morning. We were driving to school one day. The sun was coming up, and we were about probably 5 miles from our house at that point. And coming around a curve, when the sun was hitting the plants on the cliffside just right, and sun was coming right into that plant, kind of like it's on my finger right now, shining right on it. And my son, Frederick, he's now 20, he was maybe 12 at the time, and he knew I was looking for sage, and he knew what sage looked like. And we saw that sun, and we're just coming around the curve, and the sun just hit the stand of plants just right. and we saw the profile, and both of us, like, uttered at the same moment in the car, sage. We saw it. We saw it in the sun, like just the right light. And it was crazy because we had driven by that sage, I don't know how many times, and we'd never noticed the sage. And we'd even been hunting for the sage. And there in that moment, my 12-year-old and I saw it for the first time. And then here's the thing. Once we saw it, we started seeing it all over the place because we knew more about its habitat. We knew exactly what it looked like. And it's like our eyes were opened and we could see it. And so interestingly, there is a stand right at the bottom of the road, right by our house, that I have walked by hundreds, thousands of times and never noticed it. Never, ever, ever noticed it. And now we see it. We can pick it there. We notice it. So we turned it into vinegar and put it on this salad. You can almost see in this bright sunlight. How many times in life have you been searching for something, maybe a solution to something, and the answer is right there in front of you, right in front of your face, and maybe right at the main road at the base of your own house? I mean, right there in life. Right there, how many times? I spent 48 years looking for a solution to weight loss. 48 years. I mean, a lot longer than I spent looking for that sage. And I described to you that salad, that base layer, the lettuce. I don't know, back in 2002, I read a book by Joel Fuhrman. He talked about using lettuce strategically for weight loss. That was 2002. My life-changing salad moment did not come until 2017, 15 years later. I mean, how many times had I heard that this intermittent fasting thing might work? I mean, I had learned a lot about weight loss over all of those years. I had lots of little cues in my environment, and it wasn't until I sat down and I got into my own head and stitched together solutions for myself that I ended up with a life-changing meal framework for myself. It turns out many, many people are taking my experience and learning from it too. And so many elements are so obvious. They are as apparent and plain sight as that sage was to us that morning, despite the fact that it took us years to find it. And as obvious and plain sight as so much of this is, all of that stuff is also very easy to take for granted. You've learned a lot over all of these years in all of your experiences. You can also learn a lot from what I'm doing, what the community is doing. Lean into it. Take all of it. Take all of your knowledge, your own experiences. It's right there in front of you. Stitch it together and work out that exact right solution for yourself and your own unique needs. If you try what we're doing and something about it isn't quite working for you, tweak it, change it. If you see better results, keep doing that thing. If your results worsen, maybe your results are still good enough. Maybe you need to make another change. I have no idea, but you do. I highly suspect that if we all keep our eyes open, we can find these solutions for ourselves. Nature provides us with all kinds of flavors, with all kinds of options, with salads, with skillets. So dig in. What you see me eating is a very specific meal framework. You can learn it in some detail in the book, but you can also just take the concept and run. Your solution may be as apparent as that native sage on that little cliffside. This little video may just be that ray of sun pointing you in the right direction. If it is, I'm so excited for you. Go forth, keep hunting, find more on the Ridiculously Big Salad. See you next time.